Greetings from Seoul, Korea, and welcome to the AzAng Intel Classic. This is the largest tournament in Korea, and it is an honor to be here. This is Nick Tasel's plot. And as always, we have some more exciting StarCraft games coming your way in only a few minutes. The lineup for today is going to be Jaedong versus AzAng. That'll be a Zerg versus Terran. And after that, we're going to have CJ's Sky High, a Terran player, against Jangbi, a Protoss player. You probably heard of Jangbi. Sky High, a little bit more of a new player. Next, we're going to have Hwashin versus Lomo, so mirror matchup, Terran versus Terran. And finally, we're going to have Yellow versus Odin, so another mirror matchup, Zerg versus Zerg. And I think we're going to have some very exciting games here today. We have a lot of well-known players, well, two underdogs here, but hey, they could prove to make for some exciting games. I think our closest matchup of the day is going to be Yellow versus Odin. Yellow, more of an old-school player, while Odin is more of a new-school player. Not too new-school, but, you know, they both have different playing styles. Both very aggressive, but aggressive in different ways. I'm really looking forward to that match. And, of course, I'm really excited to be casting any game that involves Jaedong. Jaedong is one of those players who is just infamous. He will go down in StarCraft history as one of the most significant StarCraft players of all time. He is easily, well, let me just put it like this, he's ranked #1 in KESPA. That speaks for itself. So I think AzAng is going to have a tough time. The map lineup for today is going to be Coliseum first, Andromeda second, and then if we go to a third game, it's going to be on Othello. So again, these maps, not as new as they were before. I know at the beginning of the tournament I was saying these are new maps, but that's kind of changed now. And it looks like, well, let's just, you know, this tournament's been going on for quite a while now, so these players have had some time to actually practice on some of these maps. But I don't know exactly how these games are going to turn out. I'm looking forward to getting them going. Thank you again to our sponsors at AzAng Intel for actually making this event possible. Intel's always great at sponsoring all of these esporting events, and definitely check out the AzAng PC. So there's our lineup once again. I've already said it once, but I'll say it again. AzAng, a very new player. I think he's going to have a tough time against Jaedong. It doesn't mean he can't win. It just means that his chances are very low. AzAng has only been a pro gamer for about 2 months now, so that should give you some idea of you know, just how new he is. And the other games, they might be a little bit closer. I think Sky High, like I said before, will have a little bit of a tough time against Jangbi. Jangbi is a newer Protoss player, but he's just proving to be very, very strong. Very hard to break. Hwashin and Lomo, two different styles. Hwashin, I've said this before, but I'll say it again, is probably one of the most impressive people to actually sit behind and watch, although I have heard also that Mind and Flash are also very impressive when you watch them in first person. But I just remember watching Hwashin at WCG in the World Finals in Seattle, and I remember sitting behind him, and I just could not believe the speed at which he played. His mechanical skill was just phenomenal, and I've had other pro gamers say the same thing. Both players are in their booths. Looks like AzAng has just joined, and Jaedong will probably be joining pretty soon. Okay, yeah, he's just joined now. So this game's going to get going very soon here. Terran versus Zerg. On a map like Coliseum, we could see this go in a lot of different directions. We could see a possible proxy barracks in the middle of the map, although proxy, probably not the most effective way to play on this map, since the expansion is in the inside of your base, so to speak, so you don't have to expand out so much as you expand inward. But we could see multiple different builds. Terran do have a lot of different options as to how they can play this map out. I think we will most likely be seeing an early command center, probably after the first or second barracks. But anything's possible. I'll let the players decide how to play on these maps. Jaedong was seeded because of his, you know, he's so good. There was no real need to put him into the part where he was in the 128-player section of the tournament. So instead, we seeded him later on. So this will be one of his first games in the event, basically. I also casted Jaedong's games at the GSI, and I have to say, he is really, he's a very strong player. He lost against Flash in 3 very, very short games. Both players going back and forth with rushes. Jaedong's a player, he can out-macro you, or, you know, he can just out-micro you early on, but he will most certainly out-strategize you. He is very, very talented, and one of my favorite players. So here's their previous records in the tournament. He did go 2-1 in a previous game. Yeah, as we can see, AzAng not doing that bad, though. None of the players he's beaten are particularly well-known, but then again, a lot of these newer players are really proving to have some of the most exciting games. just go back and look at some of the previous VODs. You can see that while these guys may be new, they are certainly skilled. It's very hard to become a pro gamer now, harder than ever in Korea to become a pro gamer because the competition is so high. And, you know, I got to say, how will he play against Jaedong? I'm not sure. He may go for an early rush simply because he's worried he might not be able to beat Jaedong in the late game unless he trusts that his macro skills are good enough. I don't know. We'll find out. Cheers to Team Liquid. If you're interested in finding other English VODs, you can always check on YouTube. I know Clausart puts a lot of those up there. You can also try checking out the TSL, of course, which I believe it's a very nearing the end. I haven't checked on it in the past week, but it's an excellent tournament, and I would certainly recommend that you check it out. Basically, the Star League for all of the foreigners, all of the non-Koreans, sponsored by Razer. Very exciting event. Definitely check that out, too. If you're interested in playing in any competitive format and you want to try out your skills, check out iccup.net. And that's letter I, letter C, and then the word cup.net. It's a very competitive StarCraft ladder. Easily the pro gamers play on there, as well as top amateur players, top foreigners. It's basically a big cesspool of gosuness. So check that out. All right, well, I think the players are ready, so I believe we'll get this started soon enough. I think. I never know exactly when we're going to start the game. I have to read the commentators' body language. Again, the next map after this one will be Andromeda. Andromeda, also a very interesting map, a macro map. Or at least I believe it favors the macro style, but the architecture of it does make for some possible interesting strategies that we could see. So get ready for that as well. Be sure to tell all your friends about this tournament. We want a lot of hits. Oh, it looks like it's about to get going. It has begun. Here is Jaedong at the bottom left, setting his Overlord north, so he will find his opponent later than would be desirable. At the bottom right is our Terran player AzAng, the new player on the block. I think, I hate to repeat myself, but I can't say enough just how good Jaedong is. He is so talented. He is so skilled, and his timing is just impeccable. He does many times open up with 9 pools, so he can be very aggressive, but he's also more than capable of playing a more standard style fast hatchery. I'm interested in seeing how he'll play on this map. I don't think rushing with Zerg necessarily is a good idea on a map such as this one, simply because, well, Terran can wall in, as we see right now. Terran is going to wall in because the entrance is so small. So let's see. It looks like the Overlords are on the way, so we're probably going to see a fast hatchery. Oh, and I think we're getting a shot at me now. This is the part where I look in the camera and talk to you guys. Actually, I think I should have shaved my face. I look a little bit like Wolfman today. But not enough about me. We got to get back to these games. Zerg versus Terran should be a pretty exciting game. Looks like both players are going to be playing pretty defensively. So we'll have to wait until the action actually picks up here. So indeed, we are going to see the first hatchery put down. This is a map where Zerg could possibly go for the third hatchery before the spawning pool, because Terran are not too likely to rush, simply because Terran do have such an easy opportunity to go for a fast expansion. No spawning pool yet for the Zerg. Looks like he's going to make it now, though. Jaedong has not scouted with the drone yet. He may do that pretty soon here, though. Oh, and he will do that now. Scouting pretty late, probably confident that there is not going to be any sort of rush underway. And here's the fast command center for AzAng. Note that he didn't make the command center before the Marines, so both players confident they understand each other's styles well enough that they don't need to make any aggressive units. That's a pretty good drawing. Man. Some talented artwork there. Here's the spawning pool, and the extractor is up, so we will probably see a layer very soon. And from there, Jaedong will most likely tech to Mutalisks. Taking the lurkers would be a bit illogical on this map, at least in my opinion. Here is a layer now underway. He has not decided to transfer drones. Knowing how many drones to transfer and when to transfer them is a very difficult part of Zerg, because Zerg don't get as many workers as Terran and Protoss do. They produce from the larva, which is the same source that they produce from everything, so they have to really decide how to use their workers. That's normally how you actually beat a good Zerg player, is by trying to harass his workers so that he can't make that many attacking units and has to keep remaking drones. So 3 drones have been transferred here, 1 on the extractor, so we probably will be seeing Mutalisks. It looks like Jaedong's decided to transfer 1 more drone. Now AzAng is about to find his opponent. Note that because of the neutral creep on this map, the Zerg can make 1 sunken colony at on that neutral creep and essentially defend. Looks like the Zerglings are going to stop this SCV, so he will not see the fast layer tech. Whoa! Am I seeing things? Am I hallucinating? He's going to go 2 factory against the Zerg, and we're going to see a Hydralisk Den. Now, to be honest, this would be a pretty good maneuver against a Terran player who's meching. I assume that we might see a lurker drop inside the main expansion, maybe because that is such an unlikely move. He will not have predicted it. Essentially, what we're seeing the Terran do is mech, which is not what you normally see Terran do against Zerg. And there's a reason for that. Is because it's generally considered very difficult to pull off. It's a very unforgiving build, and you really lack mobility. However, we have seen top players do it before, and I've seen Flash beat Savior with mech. I've even seen, well, I believe mech really started with Yosh, top foreign player, who really just was thinking outside of the box and kept doing this build, and it actually became very popular for a while until Zerg's pretty much figured out how to stop it. Now, obviously our Terran player has to be pretty confident if he's going to go for mech against a Zerg. The Vulture is out, and he will have to retreat. The Hydralisk will deal too much damage, but it's a smart move to make that Vulture. He can harass a few Zerglings, maybe try to get in there, figure out what his opponent's doing. Now, I don't know, in all honesty, if our Terran player is going to be ready for a possible lurker drop, because most of the time, Zergs go for Mutalisks. Now, he did spot the Hydralisk, so he should be somewhat aware of what's going on. And I think, at least I assume that's what he's going to be doing. It's a lurker drop. That would make the most sense, I think, at this moment. Yes, it will be. Probably upgrading drop right now. We'll put him in that Overlord. Meanwhile, applying a little bit of pressure to the front of the base with the Zerglings. Looks like, though, he's going to spot the eggs. He knows. He sees the eggs. And the Hydralisks, having an identity crisis, have decided to cancel their lurker upgrade. I'm actually surprised he canceled. Okay, I assume, okay, here he comes now. He's going to put him in the Overlord. And he's going to be dropping over here. We do not have a scanner up. He will not be able to defend this expansion. Here come 2 more lurkers. They're going to burrow. Burrowing now. Drawing some attention to the front. Here come the lurkers in the back now. 1 lurker going to burrow here. Meanwhile, no, 2 lurkers burrowing. And clearly he does not have the scanner up yet. Note the angle of the lurkers at this ramp will make it difficult for the Goliaths to get up there. Oh my god, and he's going to put 2 more lurkers into the Overlord and then go into the main. He's attacking the scanner. Is he going to get there? He's got a skin. What are you doing? There goes the skin now. He's going to unburrow and try to move away. But the lurkers are bumping into each other like a bad Three Stooges skit. Okay, here come the lurkers over here. Going down into the main, he's going to split them up so that they can't be hit by every single scan. Maybe not. He's going to put this one right over here. And it looks like he does not have a scan. He has not scanned it yet. Oh my god, I think we could see GG any second here. Oh my god, and another lurker is in here. And he's got a scan. It looks like the scan is ready. Looks like he's going to go in there now. Maybe not. I thought it was going to happen. I think you did too. More units pouring down here. He has scanned the expansion, but the main is still under fire. Jaedong will move this lurker down here. Remember, he wants to spread them out so that his opponent will not have enough scans to take them all out. Jaedong is making a fool of this Terran player. I cannot believe what I am seeing. This game is about to end. Here comes a massive drop. Hydralisk very strong against Goliath. Another burrow here. Does he have a scan? I'm not sure. Does not look like it. The Goliath's taking a massive amount of damage. I believe the Hydralisk will focus fire the scanner next. No, they're going to micro out of the range of the Goliath. Another expansion already going up. Jaedong is completely out of control this game. He cannot be stopped. And I think this game is almost over unless the Terran can pull a miracle. And now scanning in the back of his base. This lurker will be taken out, but I suspect a drop will go to the main very soon. Now burrowing the lurkers at the ramp. Unbelievable. The command center has been taken out. All of the Jaedong fans have a big smile on their face right now in the studio. AzAng has been beaten back to a corner. This is probably why you should not mech against the #1 ranked player in the world right now. But hey, I gotta say, it's not that bad thinking out of the box, and I congratulate AzAng for taking such a risk. Here comes the lurker burrowing now. Another one. Just hanging out over there. Maybe reading a book. Nope, now he's going to burrow. And slowly, knowing that his opponent is low on scans, Jaedong will leapfrog these lurkers forward until he can eventually close in on the mineral patch. Patch plural. And pretty much take out his opponent. Jaedong has free reign over the map. Now taking the Mutalisks. A wise decision. The Goliath count is now so low that there's really nothing that he can do to stop a massive amount of Mutalisks. And that's normally how you beat a player who's meching, is you go from Hydralisk to Mutalist, from Hydralisk to Mutalist, back and forth. And unfortunately, these Vultures are not going to be able to get in there because they did take some damage from those lurkers earlier. Note on the minimap, you can see Jaedong actually has his opponent completely surrounded with Overlords, or almost completely surrounded with Overlords. There's just a few gray areas. It just shows you how much he's dominating. There's no way that the Terran could even get out of his base without being spotted. And I think we're going to see the all-in maneuver here very soon. I think this was smart that Jaedong did this because he knows his opponent has upgraded the Vulture Mine ability, which counters lurkers pretty well. Goliaths are very strong against Mutalisks, but the issue here is that he has so many expansions, he can keep producing Mutalisks and eventually just walk over his opponent, just overwhelm him. Here we have more and more Mutalisks gathering up, and we can see that AzAng, that is the maximum amount of factories that you can pump out of, without having an expansion. So he's going to try to get as many Goliaths as possible and then move out. And he does have his opponent contained with the lurkers. Here's some more Goliaths. He does have a sizable amount of Goliaths, but I think it's just going to be too... Wow. It was like a super Mutalisk, or at least that's what it looked like for a second. He stacks the Mutalisks together by grouping one of them in with an Overlord or with a Larva. And the reason for that is it makes the Mutalisks stack up, so it's harder to target fire them. Taking a lot of damage there, actually. But the Goliaths are still contained. Now taking to the Hive, so we'll see Guardians shortly. Or we could see Dark Swarm. Both would be very good. And as you can see, yeah, Jaedong just has too much map control. Terran player trying to send out a vulture just to get, you know, some scouting done, and not it's not proving to be effective at all. The Mutalisks are obviously a very powerful unit in StarCraft, very mobile, deal a lot of damage, great at picking off weak units too. We do see +1 for the Goliath's attack. We also see +1 armor for the Mutalisks. And right now, the focus for the Terran is to get rid of these lurkers up here. And nope, he knew it was over. Good game. And well played by Jaedong. Very exciting games there. We got to go into game 2 now. Jaedong versus AzAng. There's your winner, Jaedong. The #1 ranked player in the world. So our second map is going to be Andromeda. That should be pretty exciting. Wow. Well, Mechan wasn't necessarily bad, but I just don't think you can get away with something like that against Jaedong unless maybe you're, you know, as good as Flash or Mind or something like that. But clearly, AzAng was confident enough that he knew he should rush in here and, you know, try to do a very aggressive tech build. So I got to hand it to him. You know, definitely award him for creativity, but the execution of it was not good enough. And Jaedong really responded perfectly. I also think the fast lurker drop really worked out on that map. A pretty unorthodox move coming from Jaedong there. Normally you see Mutalisks, but it proved to be effective. So I'm pretty pleased with that game. The studio here is packed. We got a lot of people down here to watch these famous gamers. I am looking forward to casting all of these games. They will all prove to be very exciting. Thank you again to our sponsors at Intel for making this possible. Excuse me. Looks like both players have joined the game. I think AzAng might have watched that replay really fast. I can see Jaedong from where I am sitting in his booth. He looks more than confident, more than ready to get this game going. So, until then we wait. Our Korean commentators will be wrapping this up in a second. I can see that both players have said they're ready to go. The Observer is ready too. So, I'm curious if AzAng will play more standard this game or go with an unorthodox build in an attempt to throw his opponent off. Last game, both players going for pretty unorthodox builds, but they really it just proved that Jaedong's unorthodox build easily countered AzAng's. No contest there. Here we go. There is Jaedong at the top left side of the map. On the bottom left is AzAng. AzAng just faced a crushing defeat in that last game. There was no way, you know, after the lurkers got in there and he started spreading them out so that they couldn't catch up, the scans just could not catch up, and he lost expansion. There was just no way he was going to lose. I mean, he was dead at that point, just not physically. So I think, well, AzAng is clearly one of these players that will play the game out until every possible option has been exhausted. We'll see what Jaedong does on this map. This is a map where you do have a mineral-only expansion in your main. So, it's a bit of a curious map. It is definitely a macro map, though, to say the very least. You do have these neutral buildings within your base, which block off the high ground. We did see a crazy game not long ago where Flash was playing a rather new player, and this new player actually made a hatchery inside of that area, which is walled up by the neutral buildings, and then Nidus units continually into the Terran's base. Very exciting game. Looks like we're going to see Hatch first. And Jaedong will be expanding to the location, which generally is a bit more of an aggressive location to Expo, too. Sometimes you see these Zerg players, they'll expand to the mineral-only Expo because it is a little bit safer. And there's the spawning pool. Both players with very standard builds so far. As I've said before, we have not seen a second barracks, so we may see an early command center here. Terran players used to get Vespian gas at times, go for fast gas, but now it just seems like Zorgs can counter that so easily that it's pretty uncommon. I am really excited to see how this game is going to turn out. There's a shot of Garimto, one of our casters, also the nemesis of Boxer back in the day, before he became a caster, very skilled. We play a lot of StarCraft together. And, alright, I think we're going to be seeing this command center thrown up here pretty soon for the Terran. He will be putting it in a safer location in the back of his base rather than in the front. At times, good Zerg players mass up a lot of Zerglings, knowing that the Terran's going to fast expand and rush in there and just wipe out all the Marines before the medics are there. But I don't think Jaedong's going to be doing that this time. Oh, actually, he may be doing that. Normally, if you see more than 4 Zerglings, it's an indicator, in this matchup at least, that Zerg is going to be pretty aggressive with the Zerglings. Now making 3 barracks. Now, these Zerglings could actually break the front of his base. He's going to come in here now. He only has 4 Marines. He's going to take out these Marines if he can micro it right. No! Looks like the Terran's micro is pretty good. The Marine count will be reduced. However, judging from AzAng's build, he will be able to replenish the Marine supply pretty quickly. A layer is on the way. Looks like Jaedong's also expanded again. Here's the Academy, which is going to be very necessary. He needs to get that stim and range upgrade. Jaedong really focusing on macroing, although wait, I think I have some more Zerglings coming down here. Here comes some more Zerglings! He may wait for the next 2 Zerglings to get down there and then rush in. And, oh, here it comes now! Taking out 1 Marine, 2 Marines, and then backing off, really reducing this Marine count. This may be an intentional technique here, so that he doesn't have enough Marines to basically hold off the Mutalisk rush. Wow, I think he transferred maybe too many SCVs there. Actually, looks like it's pretty evenly distributed. Now, I think we're going to see the Spire any second. There's the Spire. Okay. So the Spire's on the way. He's going to have a lot of Mutalisks. But note, we did not see an engineering bay up yet, so we could see some serious Mutalisk harassment, which may tear apart AzAng due to his low Marine count. Zerglings do have speed, and AzAng is now being aggressive, moving out, attempting to force Jaedong into making Sungakanis. Jaedong does not actually have very many sunks up. He only has 1 that's now up, and he may be able to get in here and actually take out this expansion if he micros well enough. Oh my god! He's gonna get the sunken colony! The drones are now moving down! And some more Zerglings are out! Oh my god! Jaedong, the #1 player in the world, may lose this game! The fire bats are burning the drones down! Jaedong, what are you doing? I can't believe my eyes! No! Jaedong is going to lose this game! The #1 ranked player in the world is going to lose in a huge upset! Jaedong, he's either making Mulus or he's making Zerglings. He's going for the Spire. If he gets the Spire, it could be over. Here come the Zerglings now, trying to go in first round, but no, only one Marine size. Oh my God, GG! Jaedong. I did not see that one coming. Jaedong was just too aggressive and did not actually expect his opponent to attack. And I bet AzAng is feeling pretty good. Unbelievable. Jaedong made one little slip up and lost that game. That was not supposed to. Welcome back. Unbelievable. Jaedong is tied right now with AzAng. This is turning out to be a very exciting tournament. Jaedong, the #1 ranked player in Kespa, essentially the best player in the world, lost in what was a pretty simple way to lose the game. He was pretty aggressive with the Zerglings, but did not get his first, or I should say his second sunken colony up in time to hold off the counteroffensive. And it's funny, actually. I've seen Jaedong lose once or twice like that before. That seems to be the only specific window of time that I ever see Jaedong make that small mistake is in that timing, because I've seen people get Medic Marine before and just kind of march in there and walk over him. And I gotta say, this was another one of those moments, but I don't think Jaedong's going to let it happen again. But who knows? Wouldn't it be crazy if AzAng manages to take down Jaedong? I mean, that would be unbelievable for his career. It would be pretty exciting for this tournament. But we'll see what happens. Our final map is going to be Othello. Very interesting map. I'm curious as to how our players will play this matchup on it. It is one of these maps that is, again, a pretty macro-oriented map. But then again, we could see a very short game. This is just turning out to be, just wild, man. I did not see that one coming. I saw the Marines moving out with the medics, and then when I saw the 2 fire bats there, that's usually a sign that they're going to rush in there and try to take out the sunken colonies, because you can use the fire bats to burn down the drones, as they use the drones to defend. So even if the rush fails, they've lost the majority of their drones. And I kind of assumed that either Jaedong was going to use a lot of Zerglings with speed, since he had upgraded the speed ability. He was going to use, basically upgrade that and then surround the Marines. But then there were not enough Zerglings there, so I was pretty surprised. We'll see how these players play this map out now. We have both players in the game now, talking to each other. Jaedong did not look pleased with that last loss. I did walk by him, he did walk by me. As we give the players a break and the casters a break for 2 minutes, the game goes to the third game. But yeah, he looked very. He had this burning look in his eyes. So I think he's going to come back here and maybe show us what he's made of. One interesting thing about StarCraft is that no matter how good you are, you can always lose. The game is so complex. There's so many tasks to juggle. It's what makes the game very exciting. It's actually a good thing. And it's also one of these games where it's so difficult to stay on top. It's so difficult to be #1. I'm curious as to how long Jaedong will be #1 for. He has a lot of fierce competition at the top 10 level of Kespa. And he's got a lot to prove right now. Okay, so I believe this game's going to be starting pretty soon. Thank you again to our sponsors at Intel. Check out the AzAng Intel. Definitely. Thank you for supporting StarCraft. And thank you to everybody who's tuning in. We've been getting a lot of hits for this event. The event is turning out to be a big success. So spread the word. Let's get it even bigger. And it looks like the game's about to start. Let's get going. Oh, I think so. Stay tuned. Oh, Paul keeps tricking me. I really thought he was going to end it there. Okay. I think so. I think now we're going to start it. Let's get going.
Right.
Totally owning myself back there. Okay, so we have the players in cross spots. There is AzAng, the man who just won that previous game. At the top right, and at the bottom left is going to be Jaedong. I think we're probably going to see a fast command center again. This map is not proxy friendly. You cannot construct anything in the center of the map. Oh, wait a minute. No. Excuse me. You can construct something in the middle of the map. Just kidding. LOL. JK. Okay, so he is going to proxy him. Not a bad idea. At least okay, alright, so he's moving the SCV out now. We're going to see the barracks any second. Oh, man. Jaedong better be ready to micro. Oh, wow. And is Jaedong going to go for the hatchery first? That's what we want to look for. Double barracks before depot. Very aggressive. All-in maneuver here. Is Jaedong going to be ready for it? He has not made the pull yet. If he makes the hatchery first, there is a high percentage that Jaedong could lose. And is he going to make the pull or the hatch? Oh my god, he's going to make the hatchery first. This could be incredibly detrimental. I seriously think there's a high chance that Jaedong could lose this game. He's going to go hatchery first. The guy's making the barracks is in the middle of the map. Oh man. Oh my god. This is like, look, he has like no SCVs. I mean, this is so all in right now. He is banking everything on this rush. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 5 SCVs, 6 SCVs? Now he's scouting. He's got to find him fast. But I think what's going to happen is he's going to spot that Overlord and know right away where his opponent's at. Is he going to spot the Overlord? Does he see the Overlord? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What are you going to do, Savior? Even she's worried. All right. If he can find the Zerg in time. Oh my god, and Jaedong's going to spot it! Oh, he sees it! Jaedong is going to start acting pretty fast. Jaedong may sack the hatchery. He may cancel it. Or he may leave it and let the Terran focus fire that. Here comes the attack now. Is Jaedong going to cancel? Will he leave the hatchery or will he let it cancel? He's going to morph a sunk. His main can be saved. The cancels at the last second. And that drone, pretty agile, managed to actually get out of there. Oh my gosh, this is so close. The sunk is up. The sunken colony has deflected the attack. This. Okay, now it's going to be up to whether or not the Terran can do something pretty aggressive right now. He has contained the Zerg with the bunker. Zerg probably going to maybe go for one layer. Zerg is not in a good position, but at the same time, Terran is not exactly in a good position. Because Jaedong spotted that in time, he got the sunken colony up. Had Jaedong not spotted that in time, this game would look a lot different right now. Oh, hidden hatchery. He's expanding somewhere else. The containment does not matter. And now he's going to leapfrog sunken colonies out here, taking the drones off the gas. We're going to see pretty soon here if Jaedong is capable of coming back from such an odd situation. However, AzAng really behind on SCVs right now. His barracks are in the middle of the map. And I think he's probably not even going to morph that into a sunken colony. He just wants to move the creep over there and so he can hit that barrack, or bunker, excuse me. Gotta be careful. I don't want those pronouns to own me. Looks like that should be just in range. Oh! Did he spot it? Did he spot that with the SCV? I don't know. Jaedong cannot afford to lose that hidden expo. Talk about a weird-looking game right now. Now, with the sunken colony up, he can't afford to keep repairing that. So he's going to have to back off. his Zerglites now moving out. He will take out these Marines. The barracks are in the middle of the map. Oh my god, and he's lifted the barracks. Does he have any Marines back in his base? I don't know. Their hatchery is completed, had that expansion. Oh, and he doesn't have anything. This game is about to end. Jaedong. Yeah, that's the, oh crap, I'm going to lose space. And here comes Jaedong dishing out some serious ownage onto this depot and soon to these SCVs. Now turning his attention onto the SCVs. Here we're going to see it any second now. Good game. Wow, well played by Jaedong in a very difficult position. GG. Wow. That was a cool game. It just wasn't enough. Even when you go all in with probably one of the most aggressive rushes you can do in a Terran versus Zerg, Jaedong knows how to handle it. Saving the hatchery at the last second, warping that body, upgrading the Zerg speed, getting that X12. He did everything perfectly back there. That is why Jaedong is number one. I am so impressed with how he played that game. Stay tuned, our next game is going to be Sky High versus Janky. See how frustrated AzAng is. But there was just nothing he could do. Simply put, Jaedong was so good, he just handled that so well. That is clearly an effective way to recover from a very aggressive all-in bunker rush. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed those games. We're going to have a 5-minute break here where you can enjoy some Korean commercials. And, then after that, we're going to go right back to some more StarCraft action. Sky High versus Jangbi. Terran versus Protoss. Jangbi is the player who did get the seed here. This should be an exciting game. Oh, thank you again to our sponsors at AzAng Intel. We appreciate all of your support. And thank you to everybody who's watching. We have had this our games posted on so many different forums. It really surprised us here at GOMTV. It wasn't just StarCraft sites or gaming sites, but just all sorts of websites, actually. So keep on spreading the word. You know, everybody loves StarCraft. It's the best game ever made. And you know, we want to share our passions with you, so definitely spread the word and get us some more hits. Stay tuned, we got some more games coming up. Enjoy the Korean commercial.
Won't stop just like a hurricane coming, saying we will. Talking about we will.